Welcome everyone to Discover This. Well, today we got the story of a unique animal that lived up here in the Presidio Park area of San Diego, California for about a decade. And we're going to give you the whole story, tell you what happened, so stay tuned.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So it was the 1960s, and as the story goes, the San Diego Zoo had some overcrowding amongst their deer population. So what they supposedly did was they sold two fallow deer siblings, a male and female, to a resident in the Mission Hills area of San Diego, just above Old Town. Now that story's not confirmed, but it is the most repeated story about how these deer ended up in this area. At some point, the two deer escaped their new home and blended into the hills. One deer, the male, was never seen again, but the white deer, the female, was seen frequently in the Mission Hills Presidio Park area for about the next decade. And this was roughly 1965 when they escaped anyway. Somewhere along the way, she was given the name Lucy, and neighbors reportedly would leave salt licks, vegetables, and water out for her. She became something of a local celebrity, and sometimes she was seen near the ball field down here. And every so often, umpire would stop the game and let people take a look at Lucy and just watch her as she was eating the grass and roaming around. One of her favorite areas to roam around and hang out in was this Inspiration Point area of Presidio Park. And she would often be seen here walking the trails, grazing, maybe looking at the view. Now on December 13th, 1975, some reports have it December 31st, but there's news articles that show that are dated December 14th, so I'm leaning towards December 13th being correct. But either way, people reported they saw Lucy trying to cross Interstate 8 right down there. And some reported they thought they saw her get hit by a car. So animal control and park rangers were called to try and locate Lucy, with the plan being to try and relocate her to a more rural location. Now they did end up finding Lucy, and the animal control officer shot her with a tranquilizer dart so they could move her. Unfortunately, the tranquilizer dart was too strong for Lucy, and she stopped breathing and died. Now the citizens of San Diego were enraged, and they called for an investigation, and they also started a petition to have the animal control officer fired. Soon after, led by a Boy Scout troop, approximately 125 people made this climb up the hill here in Inspiration Point to bury Lucy at her favorite place. So she was placed in a wooden coffin and lowered into this area here for all eternity. In 1976, around $800 was gathered to put together this marker. If you can't read it, it says, "The White Deer of Mission Hills. Bliss and solitude beneath this tree, formless, silent, spirit-free." And this is her final resting place. There's also a bench right here right next to her memorial spot. But Lucy the white deer laid to rest here in Inspiration Point, Presidio Park, San Diego, California. That's not really the end of her story. See, there's quite a few people out there who believe Lucy's spirit still roams these hills, and there have been reported sightings of the famous white deer in Presidio Park. So if you come up here some evening, maybe you'll catch a glimpse of the famous white deer of Presidio Park. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this story about Lucy the white deer. I do remember it from the news back in the day, and I do remember when she died. It's pretty sad. There was quite an uproar. But I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you taking the time. Got lots more stories coming, all various subjects, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you on the next Discover This.